Hello and welcome to another episode of the West Coast Conference Insider Podcast here on the Field of 68 Media Network. My name is Rob Doster. That is Jeff Goodman you see with me. We're going to be joined here in just a minute by Braden Maldonado, an Alaska native who did his last 2 years of college in Colorado, spent 2 years at Metro State in Denver before transferring up to Seattle. He's had an unbelievable start to the season, averaging 23 points and a 3-1 start for the Seattle Redhawks. And fun kid, interesting story. He's going to tell you about the time that he met a moose while walking to school, which is one of the more crazy stories I've ever heard from a college basketball player.
I wish you could meet a moose at some point. Well, sometimes you look like a moose.
I have met a moose before.
Okay.
A couple times, Goodman. I do think it's worth talking about with the WCC right now, the success that they've kind of had in the non-conference slate, especially at the top of the conference, right? Gonzaga obviously is loaded. Right now, they're number one on KenPom. They're going to look fantastic in the metrics because they have a big win over an Oklahoma team that's probably going to age well. They won at Arizona State. That's probably going to end up aging well. They won by 15. They beat the brakes off of Creighton, and Creighton, I think, is good enough that they're going to be able to win a bunch of games in the Big East. So that will probably age well. They beat, I don't even remember who it was. But
it was
literally
so they
72 points.
No, they didn't beat Rob. They didn't beat him. What did they do to him?
Belt to behind.
No, they mollywopped him.
They
mollywopped him. It was 72 points. They beat a Division One team, Southern Utah. I've actually gone out there and seen Southern Utah play years ago. 72 points. That is insane. I know you don't want to talk a lot about Gonzaga, and we won't, but I don't think you want to gloss over the fact that it's a 72-point win, and a couple things happened in that game. Obviously, again, they played everybody. Everybody got minutes. But what Mark Few did is he put Ty and Grant Foster in the starting lineup. And he also
Saint Superi
has overtaken Braden Smith, the other Braden Smith.
Saint
Superi has
Can you
overtaken.
roll your R's? Superi. I can't do it.
I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on it because I'm going to be with them in the players' era. So I will actually make sure to get him to teach me the correct way. He looks like the real deal right now, and that's kind of the beauty these days of internet. Gonzaga's always had international guys. We know that. They made a living with international guys, but there were so many that came over this offseason, Rob, that I think he got lost a little bit. He got lost because, he didn't have maybe the resume that some of the other guys did coming over, and also he's only 19, where some of these kids are 22, 23.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a hot take here, and you could tell me if it's crazy. And I mentioned this the other night on After Dark, but I would say that Gonzaga has been the team that has been the most impressive to me. And I think that I've probably changed my opinion on them the most out of anybody. I didn't really know what to expect with some of those big wings coming in. We didn't really know if Tyon Grant Foster was going to end up being eligible.
Right.
There's always going to be some questions when you want to play two big guys together. And obviously, like when you have what's the saying about quarterbacks? If you have two quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback. Well, Gonzaga was kind of like, you
they
kind
have
of
two
had
good bigs.
Yeah. Well, Gonzaga was kind of like, if you have 2 point guards, you don't really have a point guard, right? But it looks like Mario has kind of stepped into that role. I think that,
I don't know where you got that saying, but I'm going to eliminate that saying from your vocabulary right now.
If you have two quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback?
2 point guards, you don't really have a point guard. Like, this isn't Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel.
Well, no, here's the what I'm saying is that, like, if you have two guys that are fighting for the job, then you probably don't necessarily, like, a lot of times you won't have someone that is good enough to be as good as you need to be for that job. I think that Mario stepping up like this is a good sign for it. But what I will say overall, big picture about Gonzaga, like they are national title good. Like this is a team.
I think you're right.
We have them. I have them fifth right now, but they have two bigs that can dribble into post ups, that can play off each other, know how to go high low. They're going to be an elite defensive team all year long, Goodman. Like they have so much size, length, and athleticism. They can roll out a lineup where they have 6'3", in with Mario out there with Jalen Worley at 6'7", Ty Grant Foster at 6'8", and then the two bigs together. If they want to go a little smaller, they could put Adam Miller at the 3, move Ty onto the 4, and play one of those big guys out there. Like the lineup versatility, the depth, the shooting. Steele Venters is making shots now. I I think that this team, we are gonna, because of the quality of the victories and how much they were by. I think that they're going to spend much of the season as like number one in all of the metrics, and I really do believe that this team can go out and win a national championship again. I'm not saying
I'm
that
not
they're
there yet. I'm not there yet, but I'll put them in the mix with like 10, 12 other teams
yeah.
that I think has a shot. And like you said, before the season, we didn't know yet. You don't know until you see it, but nobody's played a more difficult non-conference slate and looked more impressive doing it than Mark Few and the Zags so far.
Yep. I would agree. St. Mary's has been awesome as well.
Hey, they have another find. They got another freshman, Rob. This kid, Liam Campbell. Like, where did he come from, right? A kid from Idaho. I know I'm not saying where did he come from because they've known about this kid for a while, and I've talked to Randy about him, but he's been terrific out of the gates, had a great game against Ohio, can shoot the heck out of it. No surprise there. But, man, those dudes they find guys. They just find guys. They evaluate like very few others.
Yeah. Mikey Lewis is a certified stud as well. He's another probable NBA player that they have found out of nowhere and really just kind of taken off. Paulus Morauskas, obviously, he's been awesome. So we know about St. Mary's. They're a top 25 kind of a team.
Yep.
I would be shocked if it's not a 2-bid WCC, but I will say this is where I kind of want to get to.
Why can't it be a 3?
Well, listen, I would be shocked if they don't get at least 2.
Okay.
What I was going to say is Loyola Marymount is now 6-0 and has a couple of quality road wins on their resume with UTEP and UC Santa Barbara in overtime last night. Santa Clara is 4-0. They won at Xavier. They beat the brakes off Nevada. Those are 4 teams at the top that are really, really good, and they've won enough games elsewhere. Oregon State's 3-1, Pacific is 3-1, San Francisco's 3-1, Seattle's 3-1. That I think the middle part of the league looks like they're gonna be good enough to have decent metrics, so that this playing conference is not going to drag you down. I think that there are 4 teams that right now are in a spot where if they do well enough in league play, can get themselves in a position to be in that. Let's just say, throwing it out there, Loyola gets to conference play with just 2 or 3 losses, which is very doable if you look at their schedule.
Yeah.
And they go through league play and they lose like 5 games, but there's no horrible losses, and they pick off Gonzaga and St. Mary's at home. So they're sitting there on Selection Sunday at like 24-7, 25-7, something like that, with a win over Gonzaga, a win over St. Mary's, a win at UTEP, and a win at UC Santa Barbara. Like that's going to get you in the mix. That might not get you into the tournament, but that'll get you in the mix, especially because they got FAU in this event that they're playing in. They play St. Louis, who looks really
that's the key. Right. They got to win at least one of those 2 against FAU or St. Louis. They got to split those 2. And I just saw FAU. You saw FAU. Like, they can beat them. They can absolutely beat them. I mean, Amy and Shelley are 2 studs. And look at what they did last night, right? I mean, Shelley coming over as a transfer from USC at 24. And Amy was terrific in the second half, getting them to overtime. And then they win the game against a really good Santa Barbara team. So this third time in school history that Loyola Marymount has started 6-0. And again, huge comeback win. The way they won that game last night, I think that's where, if you're Stan Johnson, you got to be really proud because you didn't give up. You're down 13, and midway through the second half, you fought back, you clawed back, you got back in the game to have a chance, take it to overtime, and then you expended a lot of energy to get there, and then you win the game in overtime. So, I think to me, LMU certainly has put themselves in a great position as now you have 4 teams that have solidified themselves as teams through the early part of the non-conference. We're basically a third of the way through. Now, they're further. They've already won 6 games. So they're almost halfway through non-conference play. But got to get FAU or St. Louis. You get them both, you're in great shape.
Yep, I agree. Let's get into the interview now. Braden Maldonado, Seattle. They started the season 3-1. The only loss on their resume was a buzzer-beating loss to Cal Poly at home. And Braden he's a fun kid, man. We got to hang out with him at WCC Media Day, and he's a engaging individual that is a lot of fun to talk to. So let's get into that interview now. And now let me welcome on to the West Coast Conference Insider podcast, none other than Braden Maldonado, who is joining us again. The second time you've been on the field of 68 here in the span of about 2 months, Braden. It's you're now officially in the recurring guest territory, I believe.
Yes, sir. Man, it feels good to be back.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should be feeling good right now. You guys are sitting here 3-1 start to the season. I think the one loss was a last second shot against Cal Poly, so you got to feel pretty good about kind of the way this season has started and where you guys are right now as a team and as a unit.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, the Cal Poly game hurts. No one wants to lose like that, and I think we did a really good job responding after that game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. I like the way we've competed these first four games. Them being at home obviously is always a big help. In the Red Hawk Center, who doesn't love playing at home? But yeah, no, I'm super excited. I mean, I'm glad we started off this way. Obviously, we'd like to be undefeated. And we know that's a game we could have won, probably should have won. But I'm super happy where we are right now, and I think we're trending in the right direction, and we're improving every week.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How do you bounce back from that? Is it just something where it's like you got to get back in the gym, you got to get refocused. It's just one of those games and one of those losses that happen. Like, how do you move on from a game that kind of finishes that way?
Yeah, I mean it's obviously tough. Last second, I mean we felt we played good enough to win the game. Obviously, you don't. That's sometimes how it goes. But I think for us, you can't forget about stuff like that. We definitely watch the film, we learn from it. But I think a big thing, like me being a leader and Malik being a leader, I think we preach to the guys like we're just on to the next.
Mhm.
One of the best things about basketball is you get another opportunity, and for us, it was I believe it was that Saturday. So, I mean, we kind of just tried to flip the script as fast as possible. We had a game coming up in the next couple of days because you can't dwell on stuff like that. You can't let one loss turn into two, you know? So I think we really harped on just moving on. We watched the film, got better from it, but after that, we kind of erased it and just got on to the next. And I think that really helped us and it showed in our performance.
Yeah, I mean, it helps having veterans on the roster too. Like you've been around college basketball for a while. You've seen a lot of different things, and you know how to, one loss like that this early in the season is not going to be the kind of thing that derails what you guys have worked all summer for.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And that's kind of what I preach to the guys. Like I said, a lot of guys have been here for a while. We've lost in a bunch of different ways. We won in a bunch of different ways and stuff like that. I mean, you got a long season. Obviously, it hurts. Got to move on though, especially early in the year.
Hmm.
We know we can get better. We know we can improve, and we just learn from it. We just won't lose games like that again.
Yeah, you guys did learn from it and you did improve. You came back and you beat Eastern Washington by I think 27 the next night, and then or the next game, and then on Saturday you guys knocked off Idaho State at home. So you're sitting here at 3-1. You personally have had a really good start to the year. You're averaging over 23 points a game, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Where do you feel like this hot start has come from for you? Is it just a matter of you saw a couple shots go down and now you're getting in a rhythm? Is it you guys are changing some things of what you're doing offensively? Have you just kind of caught lightning in a bottle and you're going to see how long this run lasts? Like where has this start for you come from?
Yeah, I would say it starts with my teammates and my coaches. Just instilling confidence in me to go out there. I feel like when you got people that believe in you, it's so much easier to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I think for me, just coming in this year. Big word was just being aggressive. And being aggressive doesn't always mean scoring. It means getting downhill, looking for others. And if opportunity presents itself to score, I mean, everyone wants you to take that. So for me, I just think starting off the year being aggressive and whatever I do, being aggressive, whether it's making a mistake, being aggressive, whether it's scoring, being aggressive or passing, I think for me, the mentality is always being aggressive, staying in attack mode. And like I said, when you got guys that believe in you, and it's so much easier to believe in yourself. And I've kind of just came out here and been aggressive as possible. And my teammates have put me in great positions as well as my coaches to come kind of go out and succeed through the first four games. So a lot of confidence right now for sure.
That's the best spot to be in as a basketball player, right? When coach is sitting there saying, "Hey, Brayden, listen, man. Sometimes the best shot is you just going and making a play, making something happen, and being aggressive. Like that's the dream right there, right?"
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're out there, everyone knows we're out there playing basketball free and we're out there thinking a whole lot. You can really see, like, you can tell when someone's out there thinking and they're overthinking. You could tell when someone's out there just hooping. And that's the best place, like you said, as a hooper, you want to be is you're out there just playing, not thinking too much. You're just out there playing, letting the game come to you. And that's one of the best feelings as a basketball player.
Yeah, so you did the thing that I'm sure Sarah has really taught you how to do, and credited your teammates there when I asked you about yourself. So I want to ask you specifically about a teammate, Will
Yeah.
Heimbrough. I hope I got his last name correctly. Averaged 2 points a game last year as a freshman. Has come in this season, had 24 in the first game, 20 in the second game, and averaging over 17 points at the start of the year. Where did this come from, man? Did you guys see this in the offseason? Did you know that he was going to come here and start putting up 20-point games like this?
Yeah. For a guy like Will, man, like last year he was like a true freshman last year after him redshirting. So he came in and he had a lot of growing pains and a lot of learning that he had to do. But I mean, he's a sponge. Like he soaks up information very well. He's very coachable and he's an incredible athlete as well. And when you got guys like that, I mean, you're going to get your opportunity. And all summer, Will has showed us that has the ability to put up these type of numbers and get in the paint like he does and draw a bunch of fouls. And so Will coming out, another thing we told him was just out there being aggressive, attacking the rim. Like I said, the athlete that he is, he can kind of get really anywhere he needs to on the floor. So it wasn't a huge surprise to me what Will has been doing. He's an incredible player. And I mean, we put a lot on Will to get to the basket, create for himself and others. And I think he's done just that so far.
Where have you seen the biggest leap in his game? Like, what is the one thing that he's kind of really gotten better at?
I think for me is the decision making. I think, when you're a freshman, the game is so fast for you and everyone says it, but I'll say it again. I think as you get older, the game starts to slow down and reads become more clear for you. And I think for Will, the game, he's understood it a lot more. He found his spots where he'll be making a lot of his decisions and he's just been super decisive with them. So for me, it's his decision making, when to attack. He gets some doubles out of the post, when to pass out of the post, and he's just like always looking for the right play. And guys that are always making the right play and looking for the right play, you'll usually make the right play. So for him, it's definitely decision making.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to figure out sometimes, right? Because once you get to the Division 1 level, it's like you have to be able to make decisions quickly, and it's the confidence in saying like, all right, look, you know what, I got to get this shot up right now, or I have this lane, let me get the ball to the basket over here, or you know what, there's a pass. Like it's everything moves really, really quick, and once you kind of have the confidence of being able to make those quick decisions, that it's the right decision. That's the biggest leap I think freshmen make is figuring out how to be able to be decisive like that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
June has also taken a big step forward.
Yeah.
And there's three guys here we're looking at that have really improved in terms of maybe what people from the outside expected. And I'm just kind of curious, like why do you think that is? What is it about the coaching? What is it about the program or the culture of development that you guys have there? Why are we seeing players develop internally at Seattle right now?
I think kind of what I touched on towards the beginning is like we believe in our guys and we put a lot of confidence in our guys and we have the work to back that up. I mean, we put in so much work here, all the guys. And I think when guys have bad shooting games or guys go out there, we're not here like, oh yeah, some of those shots you probably shouldn't have took. Like, nah, like we watch the film, like if they're good shots, man, let it fly again. Like we believe in you, and we're always gonna put guys in positions where they're comfortable and where we
Mhm.
know that they can be successful. And I think that's the biggest thing here. Like we've put in Will, and Will has also worked. But we put guys in a lot of positions to be successful, and we believe in guys to make plays. And we're gonna keep feeding you because we know you're capable and we know that you can make those plays. And I think guys feel it over here. They feel like that people believe in them and they can go out there and play free. And I think that's a big thing. Like one game doesn't define a player for us. Like you can, if you have a bad game, like it's basketball, that's how it goes. And guys know that here. Like they know the next game, it's your time. Like it could be anyone's time to step up. And I think everyone's ready and they've really embraced that here. So it's a lot of fun to just see guys step up and make some shots, make some big plays, and just have a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, so you are a Colorado kid, right? You went to high school down there, and we see a lot of guys from that area for some reason uh, kind of be like late bloomers or late arrivers, right? Like I think of Dalton Connect, who went JUCO and then D2 and then to Northern Colorado, and now he's in the league, right? I think about Derek White, who I believe started at was he was at Metro State? No, he was at Colorado State.
At UCCS,
Yeah, and
Colorado
then
Springs.
Nick Clifford also. I know that he went Colorado to Colorado State, but he's another guy that kind of was a late developer, and I think that we can put you there as well, right? You go to MSU Denver, and then you transfer up to Seattle, and now we see you're like really having a certain level of success here. What is it about Colorado that all of these kids end up being kind of late bloomers from a basketball perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to, mess you up there. I'm from Alaska originally. I spent 2 years in Colorado for high
Got it.
school. I just kind of wanted to clear that. I'm Alaska kid. But no, I think the thing about Colorado basketball is people there aren't huge into high school stuff as far as your ranking, like how you're viewed in high school. I think a lot of people are focused on getting to the college level, wherever that may be, whether that's D1, D2, D3, JUCO. I think the work ethic with Colorado kids is huge. Like I had opportunity to work Derek White camp, basketball camp when I was down there, and I kind of just talked to him about his experience at D2 level because I was also there, and he just told me that he didn't really pay too much mind into going to Division 2. He was just there to work, and he was just there to get better. I think Dalton Connect would say the same thing, going JUCO or out of high school. A lot of those guys are just they just want to get an opportunity, and once they have the opportunity, they're gonna work and they're gonna make a way for themselves. I think that was the biggest thing for me coming out of high school. It wasn't a lot of people like looking to recruit me or anything like that. I just wanted an opportunity, and I knew I was going to work my way and make my way. So I think that's the big thing for Colorado kids is they just want an opportunity, and once they get the opportunity, their work ethic is going to take them as far as they want to go. So I think that's a big thing for the Colorado basketball community.
So, did you feel like the relocating when you were in high school, going from, it sounds like it was after your sophomore year in high school that you moved from Alaska to Colorado. Is that right?
Yeah, I did my junior and senior year at Smoky Hill High School in Aurora, Colorado.
Did you feel like that kind of got you a little bit ready for the college ranks? I mean, you're going to a new environment, a new program, a new place. You got to make new friends. You got to learn new people. You got to learn a new area, new streets, how to be able to get to a new school, navigate a new, just it's basically a new life. And that same thing happens when you get to college, and then it happens again when you transfer.
For sure. Yeah, no, I would agree. I think that helped me a lot. And not even just basketball, just like as a man, come becoming a young man and just growing up, just learning how to navigate things on your own and learning how to fend for yourself, how to stick up for yourself, how to talk for yourself. Because my mom wasn't always there. I was doing my driving, my school myself and stuff like that. So I think the move was big for me, especially Alaska being such a small basketball area. Not a lot
Mhm.
of people are looking up there. So I think one, the recognition I got coming up to Colorado was huge, as well as like you said, just learning new environments, meeting new people, new streets, new everything. Just it really helped me once I got into college. I felt like I've kind of done something similar to this before. So it was a big help for me. I That decision was huge in my basketball and even in my life.
Can you just I've told you this at Media Day. I've spent a lot of time in Anchorage and in the Alaska area. Can you
Yeah.
explain to people what it's like when you're there either in the middle of summer or in the dead of winter? It's just I don't think people really kind of realize what life is like when it doesn't really get totally darker. You know, it doesn't always get totally light here sometimes.
Yeah, kind of like you touched on the summer, it really, I mean, it really doesn't get dark. I could tell you stories about me and my friends outside playing basketball till like 3 or 4 in the morning at
Mhm.
just a local middle school, and there's just so much light out. Like everyone's outside walking their dogs, riding bikes, like everyone's just outside because it's light out. Like you lose track of time. And then there's the winter where it's cold and you wake up for school and it's dark, and then you leave school and it's dark. So it's like, it's kind of the best of both worlds, I guess you can call it. But yeah, Alaska, that's why I think basketball is so big for me. I mean, it's indoors. It's something I could do all the time. But yeah, no, Alaska is definitely is different in the summer. In the winter, it's completely different.
What's the one thing you miss about being up there? And I do feel like there's a lot of people that go from Anchorage to Seattle, right? That's got to be kind of a little bit of a similar community to in terms of, the diet that you eat, the lifestyle that you lead.
Yeah. It's definitely similar for sure. When I was coming from Anchorage to here, and just I would just say a big thing for me is just the people in Alaska or in Anchorage. I would say like where I'm from, it's not a big city. So I think just like everyone knows each other.
Mhm.
It's a big like community. The basketball community is huge. Like everyone's supporting each other. Everyone wants to see each other succeed, and I think that's been a big thing that's helped a lot of people from Anchorage succeed in basketball. Like you got the whole city, like everyone knows who you are, everyone's behind you, everyone wants to see you succeed. And that for me was just huge, just always having people supporting me and always having people reach out and just people I've known ever since I was super young. Just behind me, and that means a lot to have your city behind you. And that's a big thing I miss. It's just the people that I used to see growing up at the Boys and Girls Club I used to play basketball at. Just all those people were huge in my development, and I just miss seeing those people and just chopping it up with them and stuff like that.
All right. And everybody that lives in Alaska has some kind of crazy story about running into wildlife or running into a moose somewhere or running into a bear somewhere. So I know you got one, man. You got to give it to me, Braden.
Yeah, actually, so when I was in middle school, it was actually in the winter. I used to walk because my middle school wasn't far, so I used to walk to school every day, and it's just cold. So I used to just put my head down. I knew my route. I used to put my head down, have my head like just like this. It was all cold, and I'm like walking, and I like run into something, and so I look up, and I walk right into a moose. Like I literally walked right into the moose, and that's why I look up, and then I just start backing up, and the moose kind of looked at me, and then went back to eating. So I was like, my heart started racing. I didn't know what it was. So I backed up. He went back to eating. I crossed the street and just kept walking home. But
That is so dangerous. Like I don't think people realize how dangerous that is to be that close to a moose.
no, yeah, literally. Like I've been close to a lot of moose because I know how dangerous they are. Like I've been close, but I keep my distance. But man, like I said, I was so cold. I was just trying to get home. I was walking with my head down. And like I said, I kid you not, I run into something. I'm like, I know I didn't walk into a tree. I'm on the sidewalk, and sure enough, it was a moose just right there. And I
What
looked
did
up.
uh what did your mom say when you told her that story?
She was like, "What are you doing? Like, why is your head down? Like, you're walking by yourself. You need to be paying attention." She was like, "That could have been dangerous." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm sorry. I was tired. I was ready to be home. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I kid you not, man, I walked right into a moose."
That's actually hilarious, man.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I got one or two more for you. Let's start with this. You guys got Stanford on Friday. It's on the road. It's going to be a good sense of, kind of what you're going to see for some of these big time matchups when you get to WCC play, right? Like we know how
Yeah.
good Gonzaga is. We know how good St. Mary's is. Santa Clara is rolling over everybody right now. USF, San Francisco's look really good. Like what are you guys going to learn about yourselves, do you think, when you go down to Palo Alto on Friday?
I think we'll learn a lot. I think Stanford's a big physical team. Like you said, they are a Power Five conference team, and they have those type of athletes. They have those type of players, and I think we're super excited for the matchup and the opportunity to go down there and play against them. I think biggest thing for us is just how hard we compete and how much we're focused on the little details and the little things. Like we always kind of harp on, like shots will fall, shots won't fall. But I think our competitiveness and how focused we are on the details and playing against bigger schools like this, with bigger athletes, I think stuff like that will take us very far. So I think we're really excited. I don't think this program's ever played Stanford before, so it'll be fun to go down there, and I'm just really excited for the matchup.
All right, last one I got for you. What's scarier, running into a moose or in the dark, or running into Rudy the Red Hawk in the dark in the middle of the night?
I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably have to give it to Rudy's a lot bigger. Our Rudy's a lot bigger than the moose that I ran into. So I would probably say our Rudy. But he likes me though. So I don't know. It'd be different. Like if I ran into him, he'd probably say what's up to me. If someone else ran into him,
You're in trouble.
it might be, yeah, he might be in trouble because he likes me. So I'd probably be good with Rudy. So I would say the moose personally, but for anybody else, I'd watch out. Rudy's that's a big, hey, that's all I'm gonna say.
Listen, man, Braden, I appreciate the time, man. It's great to see you again. It's great to catch up. Congratulations on the start of the season. You haven't done anything yet, though, man. Keep this thing rolling, all right?